We're at full capacity tonight with a Conference USA mega matchup. Navy comes in the game as 3-1, only loss coming in week one against Rutgers. Wyoming, a perfect 4-0, looking to make a potential college football run, but this is going to be one of their bigger tests on the year. The Navy midshipmen will be hosting the Wyoming Cowboys, and Navy deciding to wear just their classic Navy uniforms with the golden helmet, while Wyoming with the white helmet, white jersey, gold pants. Wyoming will elect to get the ball to start the game, as we have kickoff taken from the end zone. Brendan Spearman will take it from there, gets a 26-yard return. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the Wyoming 17-yard line. Wyoming trots out onto the field, and they're led by their junior quarterback, Francis Williams. Williams, so far, stellar year. 17 total touchdowns, 1 interception, and a little bit over 1,400, or just shy of 1,400 passing yards. Has had a stellar year so far. 7 sacks have been allowed by the offense, so this should be a good game for him here. Williams drops back to pass, and he completes it to Roosevelt Warwick for a gain of 5. Hands it off to Francis Williams, drops back to pass, decides to keep it for himself, scrambles ahead. He gets past the first down marker before he slides down for a 6-yard gain. Navy, with the neutral zone infraction, gives 5 free yards to the Cowboys. Warwick gets the handoff, gets 6 yards, gets it again, gets 1 yard. Incomplete pass, 3rd down and 9. Francis Williams drops back to pass, feels pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Andy Roberts gets in the backfield and drops him for a loss of 2, and that leads to a Wyoming punt. Derek Alberts, 46-yard punt. Shane North gets a good 18-yard return, and the midshipmen will take over on their own 34. They're led out onto the field by Chris Jennings. Jennings, the super senior, has also had a stellar year up to this point. 18 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a little bit over 1,500 passing yards already. Has, super senior finally getting his first start in his career, and Navy is a good place for him. Good quarterback. As he lines up in that traditional Navy-style offense, takes the snap, it's play action, and it falls incomplete. They will run a toss play to Keenan Rathbone, who bounces it to the outside, gets past the first down marker before he's brought down for a gain of 15. Rathbone gets the handoff again. He gets 5 yards. Try to be cute here, and they try to set up another play action, and it falls incomplete. 3rd down and 5. Jennings decides to get underneath in the shotgun formation. He's got 2 running backs, one to his left, one to his right. Takes a snap, decides to fire over the middle, and it falls incomplete. Brings up a 4th down into Wyoming territory. Chris Hill punts this ball away, 46-yard punt, and it will be a touchback. Wyoming, 1st and 10 on their own 20. Williams hands the ball off to Tim Smith. He gets 7 yards on the play. Warwick gets the handoff, no gain. 3rd down and 3, handoff, right up the middle. Warwick gets it, tries to lower the boom, but he gets pushed back as he'll only get 2 yards on the play, and it brings up a 4th and 1. Wyoming goes 3 and out. And to save some time, Navy will also go 3 and out. Rathbone, nothing. Rathbone lost it to Dewberry, gain of 1. 33-yard punt, 21-yard return. Wyoming takes over on their own 49. Incomplete pass. Warwick gets a 5-yard gain. Warwick gets a gain of 14 in the 1st down, and they're in Navy territory. First one to make it that far. Warwick gets a rush of 8. Williams passes it on the play action, throws it to the outside, finds Alexander Woods, who steps out of bounds. A gain of 11 on the play, and it's to the 13-yard line of Navy. First and 10, Warwick on the toss play. Can't break the edge as he is going to be dropped for a loss of 2 as the Navy defense pushed on that side of the offensive line. Williams drops back to pass, finds Hayden Wrecker on a curl route, and he's brought down instantly. 3rd down and 6 from the 9. Williams under center, takes the snap, a speed option, rolls to the outside, pitches it late. He finds his man, Tim Smith, got a great block on the outside. It's a foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, Wyoming. Tim Smith 9 yards out after the pitch, and it is good. Extra point is also good as it is 7-0 in the first quarter. 2:47 remaining as Navy will take over. They don't do much as it goes 3 and out. Rathbone, loss of 1. Dewberry, gain of 2. Jennings will complete it to Wilson for a gain of 4, 4th and 5. 43-yard punt, 4-yard return. Wyoming goes 3 and out. Williams rushes it for 5. Warwick runs it for 4, an incomplete pass. But on that incompletion, Roosevelt Warwick was injured, the starting running back for the Cowboys. We'll have an update. 4th down and 1. They keep the offense out on the field, so it will not be a 3 and out. Takes the snap, fakes it up the middle, awesome play, and it's going to be completed to Victor Willis, who gets the first down and a little bit more. Gain of 6 on the play. First down, Cowboys. Williams hands it off to Hamilton. Chaz Hamilton rushes it straight up the gut. He gets to the linebacker level before he's touched, and it's a gain of 9 on the play. False start brings it 2nd and 6 at midfield. Tim Smith gets a handoff, gain of 4, and then incomplete pass on 3rd down. It brings up a 4th and 2 at the Navy 46, and that ends the first quarter. At the end of 1, it is 7-0 Wyoming. Wyoming will elect to punt the ball away. 55-yard punt. It will be a touchback. 1st and 10. False start on Navy brings it 1st and 15. And they will also go 3 and out yet again. Incomplete pass. Rothbone a gain of 3. Rothbone a gain of 7. 4th and 5. 33-yard punt, 2-yard return. Wyoming takes over 1st and 10 on their own 44. Hand the ball off to Tim Smith, a gain of 7 on the play. They set up a screen pass. Willis on the outside gets it, and he will get the first down. Yes. Because of, yeah. 1st and 10. Williams drops back to pass, doesn't see anything. He decides that he's going to scramble up into the pocket, running 4, and he gets past the first down marker, but he gets hit hard, and the ball pops free, and it's a fumble on the ground. Fumble. And it's going to be recovered by Navy. Glenn Neves jumps on top of it and giving Navy great field position into Wyoming territory at the 44-yard line. Could this be the thing to jumpstart the Navy offense? Chris Jennings drops back to pass, looking dangerous pass over the middle, intercepted by the defense. Troy Castle will jump in front of it, gets it and gets a 5-yard return and gives the ball immediately back to Wyoming. 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line. But they don't do anything with it because they go 3 and out. Incomplete pass, a rush of 2. 33-yard punt, 4-yard return. Navy takes over 1st and 10 on their own 28. They go 3 and out. Rathbone, rush of nothing. Pittman, rush of nothing. Rathbone, a loss of 3 on the play. They punt. This is a great defensive game. 35-yard punt, 17-yard return. Doesn't matter. Wyoming will also go 3 and out. 0-yard rush, 2-yard rush, and then an incomplete pass. Brings up 4th and 8. 47-yard punt and a touchback. First and 10. Navy drops back to pass. Looking. Sammy Plumlee will get it, and he gets past the first down marker as Navy gets their first down in a long time. Yeah, Pat McAfee somewhere is jacking off to how many times we punted so far. First and 10 for the midshipmen. Incomplete pass to Dewberry. Rathbone rushes ahead. He gets 1 yard in the play. Third down and 9. Jennings drops back to pass. Doesn't find anything deep. Decides to dump it off to short. And it's only going to be a gain of 1. And we punt the ball away again. 46-yard punt, 11-yard return. Wyoming takes over on their own 30. Williams drops back to pass. He finds Alexander Woods for first down. Hand the ball off to Nick Moore. He gets 7 yards. Delay of game brings it back 5 yards, second down and 8. Handoff. Tim Smith, 11-yard gain, first down. Wyoming, the only one to apparently knows how to move the chains. Williams drops back to pass. He completes it to Nick Moore as he's brought down immediately for a gain of 1. Williams drops back to pass, feels pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Zach Harris drops him for a loss of 7. And on third down and 16, they just hand the ball off for a run. Chaz Hamilton gets a 9-yard rush, and it brings up a 4th and 7 as we hit the 2-minute timeout. At the 44-yard line, 34-yard punt, 19-yard return, Navy gets first and 10. Make that 1st and 15 because they have a false start on the offense. He wants Jennings to do something, but it will not be Jennings as he hands the ball off to Rathbone, who gets a gain of 11 on the play. 2nd and 4. Jennings dumps it off to Rathbone out of the backfield. He gets a 14-yard gain, and Navy gets another first down. Hand the ball off to Rathbone. He gets 6 yards in the play. 2nd and 4. Jennings, pass over the middle, finds Johnny Wilson for a sliding catch, a gain of 3, and Navy calls the first timeout. 3rd down and 1. Handoff. Rathbone straight up the gut. He surges ahead past the first down marker, gets to the second level, and gets a gain of 9 on the play as Navy calls their second timeout, and they're in the Wyoming territory at the 33. Jennings drops back to pass. Looks deep. Finds Stephen Jones as he catches the ball, and it leads him out of bounds for a 20-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the Wyoming 13. Hand the ball off to Rathbone, who surges ahead, and he gets 7 yards in the play, and it brings up, or they call their final timeout of the half. 2nd and 3. Hand the ball off to Dewberry, who gets 1 yard. 3rd down and 2. Go for a pass play to Rathbone. In the end zone. Can't come up with it. It falls incomplete. 4th and 2 from the Wyoming 5. And Navy keeps their offense out on the field. Jennings takes the snap, play action, looking towards the end zone, in and out of the receiver's hands as it falls incomplete, and it will be a turnover on downs. Less than 30 seconds remaining in the half, and Wyoming, deep in their own territory, will just run the clock out, as that will be the end of halftime. Wyoming 7, Navy nothing. But Navy gets the ball to start the second half. Today's sponsor, like always with me, it's going to be Dos Equis. When it's game time, grab an ice cold Dos Equis Mexican lager. Stay thirsty, my friends. All right. Kickoff taken from the 1 yard line. Shane North gets a 17-yard return. And I'm hoping Coach Speed Shark has had a tough conversation with his offense. What's your pep talk, Speed Shark? Your offense has been struggling so far this game. Very few first downs. What do you say to them in this 7-0 matchup we currently have? And let's see if your team listens. Got to execute better. Yep. Need someone to step up, and it's your time to shine, right? Well, let's see if they execute for you. First and 10. Jennings hands the ball off to Rathbone. He gets dropped in the backfield for a loss of 3. Rathbone gets a handoff again. He gets dropped for a loss of 1. Third down and 14. Jennings completes a pass to Stephen Jones, and it's only a gain of 11 as they have to punt the ball away. 35-yard punt, 14-yard return, but there is a block in the back by Wyoming. It is first and 10 on their own 38. Wyoming goes 3 and out. Tim Smith, rush of 8, complete pass, a loss of 4, and then incomplete. Fourth and 6, 51-yard punt, 23-yard return. Navy get the ball. Incomplete pass, a complete pass for 1 yard. They punt, 3 and out. 54-yard punt, 23-yard return. Illegal block in the back again by Wyoming, as it'll be first and 10 at the Wyoming 26. Francis Williams, complete pass to Wiggins for a gain of 11. Neutral zone infraction by the defense makes it first and 5. 0-yard rush, incomplete pass, a rush of 3. Wyoming has to punt the ball away. Fourth and 2 at the 45. 58-yard punt that will lead to a touchback and Navy take over first and 10, their own 20. And guys, you will not believe what's about to happen. Navy, first and 10, hand the ball off. It's a 9-yard gain. The very next play, Chris Jennings completes pass to Nathan Pittman for a gain of 16 and a first down. First and 10, Navy. Another completed pass, this time to Johnny Wilson. He gets a 13-yard gain and yet another first down for the Navy midshipman. That's 2 so far. Jennings drops back to pass. He finds Pittman again. A gain of 18 on the play as Navy has yet another first down. 3 plays in a row. They instantly get first downs. Sack on a play the very next time. Jennings dropped for an 8-yard loss by Sean Spears for a loss of 8. Very next play, it's a 13-yard completion to Johnny Wilson. But there were 2 flags in the play that were offsetting to replay the down. Second and 18 at the 32. Jennings shots back to pass. He finds Sammy Plumley on a wheel route. He was left wide open, runs ahead, and he's finally pushed out of bounds. And they have another first down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jennings shots back to pass. Quickly to the outside, he finds Nathan Pittman for a gain of 3. Hand the ball off to Dewberry, who gets a 5-yard gain. Third down and 2. Hand the ball off to Rathbone up the middle, and he's dropped for a loss of 1, and it brings up a 4th and 3 at the 7. Speed Shark, learning from his experience last time, will decide to send out his kicker, Steven Sanford, with a 24-yard chip shot. The kick is up, and it is good as Navy finally gets on the board at the 2:51 mark in the third quarter. It is 7-3, Wyoming. Kickoff will be a touchback. Wyoming takes over first and 10. Williams drops back to pass, finds Victor Willis for a gain of 16 and a first down. Tim Smith gets a handoff, gets a gain of 3. Second and 7. Williams drops back to pass, a fade route to the outside, finds Wiggins on a comeback, and he gets a 25-yard gain as he gets brought down, and they're in Navy territory at the 31-yard line. Williams drops back to pass, finds Hayden Rucker, who is brought down instantly, and there's some extra shoving there as penalty flags start to fly. And Navy's Darian Curtis will be called for an unnecessary roughness. It was a 3-yard completion. Add 15 to that, and Wyoming has it first and 10 at the Navy 13. but their defense stands tall as it's an incomplete pass, and a rush of 4. 4th and 6 from the 9. Kenny Winters comes out for the field goal. 26-yard shot. The kick is up, and it is good as we have an extended lead. Wyoming 10-3 with a minute 32 left in the third quarter. Kickoff will be a touchback. Navy takes over 1st and 10. Jennings keeps it for himself. He gets a gain of 5. Hands the ball off to Rathbone, who gets a 4-yard gain. 3rd down and 1. Play action. Jennings dump off to Pittman, who gets past the first down marker and gets upfield for a 10-yard gain, as it will be 1st and 10 on their own 48 as we end the third quarter. First and 10 from the 48. Jennings drops back to pass, tries to make something, turns back to the other side of the field, and he's going to be dropped for a sack. Alex Robertson gets back there and drops him for a loss of 10, and it brings up a 2nd and 20. Incomplete pass, and it brings up a 4th and 20, and Navy has to punt the ball again. From the 38-yard line. Chris Hill, 28-yard punt. Spearman gets underneath it, gets a great block on the outside, and it's a foot race, and he's only got 2 men to beat. Catches a block. He's got the punter to beat, and he does beat him, and Winters takes it back 66 yards. Brendan Spearman takes it all the way, and Wyoming, after the extra point, takes the lead 17-3 at the 14:01 mark. Still plenty of game left. Kickoff will be a touchback. Dewberry rushes it for 2. Jennings sacked for a loss of 7. Neutral zone infraction makes it 3rd and 10, but Rathbone rushes it for 9, and they have to punt the ball away. 43-yard punt will be taken out of bounds, and Spearman won't be able to return this one. Wyoming gets the ball. They go 3 and out. 0-yard rush, rush of 4. They punt the ball away. 45-yard punt, 5-yard return. Navy takes over 1st and 10, their own 33. Jennings throws to the outside, finds Nathan Pittman, who tiptoes the sideline before leads him out of bounds for a 25-yard gain. Jennings passes it to Plumlee this time. He gets a 16-yard gain, another 1st down. Completed pass to Plumlee for a gain of 5. Incomplete pass, 3rd down and 5. Dewberry gets the handoff, rushes ahead, lowers the boom, but he gets knocked back. He gets a gain of 3 on the play, and it leads up to a 4th and 2. And Steven Sanford will line up for a 35-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is no good as it is tipped at the line. And Wyoming will take over on their own 25-yard line with 6:33 left in the game. First and 10. 2-yard rush by Smith, gain of 2. Smith, a gain of nothing. Williams will get sacked for a loss of 2, and it brings up a 4th and 10 at their own 25. Alberts gets a good punt on this one for 42 yards, and Shane North gets a good head start on it with it. North gets a block on the outside, makes a man miss, cuts it across the field, and it's another foot race. He's got a man to beat. He beats the punter, and he makes it to the edge, and he runs it in all the way. A 67-yard punt return, as that's the 2nd one of the day. Navy has answered a punt return for a punt return. The extra point is up and good, and it's 17-10. Wyoming. 4:44 left in the game. As we got ourselves a ball game. Kickoff taken from the 6-yard line. Spearman gets it 22-yard return. It'd be 1st and 10 on their own 28 for the Cowboys. Willis gets a handoff for a gain of 5. Williams rushes ahead for a gain of 2, and then an incomplete pass. It brings up a 4th and 3, but it did waste a minute and a half of the time. 3:12 left in the game. 31-yard punt, 18-yard return. Navy takes over in Wyoming territory at the 48. Hand the ball off to Rathbone. He gets a 7-yard return, 7-yard gain. Rathbone gets the handoff again. He gets a 2-yard gain. It brings up a 3rd down and 1 as we hit the 2-minute timeout. 3rd and 1 from the 39. Jennings hands it off to Rathbone on a draw play. Rathbone rushes ahead and he gets an 11-yard gain, and it brings up a 1st and 10 from the 28. Jennings fakes it to Rathbone, looking, feels pressure, about to be brought down for a sack, and he spins out of it, though, and he heaves this ball up in the air, and it's going to be caught. Johnny Wilson gets up for this ball, and it's a 24-yard gain, and it's now 1st and goal from the 4 for Navy. The very next play, they set up a screen play out of the backfield. Rathbone gets it, got some blockers, and he dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Navy. As we have a tie ball game after the extra point, it is 17-17. A minute 34 left in the game, and both teams have all 3 timeouts. Kickoff will be a touchback, and Wyoming will take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. A minute 34 left. Wyoming handoff, a gain of 12 on the play. 1st and 10. False start brings it back 5 yards. 1st and 15. Handoff to Moore, gets a gain of 3 on the play. Wyoming calls their first timeout. 2nd and 12, hand the ball off again. Smith rushes up the middle. He gets a 2-yard gain. They call their second timeout. 3rd down and 10. Williams drops back to pass. Pump fakes, throws it to the outside. Finds Hayden Wrecker, who gets it, gets past the first down marker, and is brought down inbounds. And Wyoming will call their final timeout of the game. It is 1st and 10 at the Navy 49. Minute 9 left in the game. Williams drops back to pass, throws it to the outside again. This time, Nick Moore, who gets it, gets past the first down marker and steps out of bounds for a 10-yard gain. Williams completes the pass to Rucker, this time over the middle for a gain of 5, and they rush up, and he spikes the ball. Incomplete pass, it brings up a 3rd down and 5. 40 seconds remaining in the game. Williams drops back to pass, throws it to the outside, and it's only a 1-yard gain as it brings up a 4th and 4 from the Navy 33. And they send out their kicker, Kenny Winters, for the 50-yard try. The kick is up, and he doesn't have the leg as he misses it. Navy will take over on their own 40-yard line. 28 seconds left in the game. They have all 3 timeouts. Jennings drops back to pass, looking, doesn't find anything, decides he's going to scramble it up, and he rushes up the field. He gets a 12-yard gain before he slides down, and Navy calls the first timeout of the half. 1st and 10 at the Wyoming 48. Hands the ball off to Rathbone, gets a 5-yard gain, and they call another timeout. 3rd down and 4, 14 seconds left. Jennings takes the snap, looking, doesn't see anything, decides he's going to scramble upfield as he's got a little bit of room, and he gets hit hard, and the ball pops free. It's a fumble, and Wyoming recovers the ball. Brendan Spearman, who returned the kickoff, gets the ball, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Wyoming on their own 47-yard line. 7 seconds remaining in the game. No timeouts. Williams takes the snap, looking, fires short, intercepted by Navy. Sean Fafita gets in front of the ball, and it's a turnover on downs as Navy will get it. 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. And we could go into overtime. but Navy sends out their offense. I guess it's going over to overtime. All right, one shot, I guess. First and 10 for a 39-yard line. Jennings drops back to pass, and then they're sending everybody out. They're only a two-man pressure as Jennings steps up into the pocket, heaves this one deep, and it's going to be batted away. Ball pops up. It's a touchdown, Navy! Hail Mary! Jennings finds Keenan Rathbone for the touchdown as time expires and Navy comes out with the win on the last play of the game. 61-yard bomb that got popped in the air. Navy wins it. As we had an extremely boring game up until the last quarter, and then we had it all. As the Navy midshipman home team wins this one in a thriller on the last play of the game. Congratulations, Speed Shark. All right. Yeah. We had a total of 21 punts this game. Two punt returns. Both kickers missed a field goal. Uh, all right. Let's look at the other game day options. Oh, sorry. Oh, game's not technically over. There it is. There it is. Now it's over. With the extra point, yeah, 24-7.